Welcome. I'm excited to be here with you today. There's been some really exciting updates happening, and I wanted to share them with you. And of course, today is the beginning of new moon, March 6th, a new moon in Pisces. And the energy, we build up the energy from the new moon, and then it builds in the next couple of weeks. And then there's an impact that we can actually create and manifest in those couple of weeks leading up to the full moon. So this was the reason behind creating these live events, is focusing, the last few months has been focusing on the new moon cycles. And then what I've decided actually moving forward is we're going to focus more on the mission and vision that I have. Even though it's so important to connect to the cycles of the moon, I feel that, really the essence and the mission is, for me, is to eliminate chronic illness across the globe. And of course, I cannot do this alone. So therefore, I wrote my book to inspire each and every one of you to become awakened, self-sufficient healer yourself. And then in the next couple of weeks, I'll be launching my online course, 8-week course, where we'll be joining together and we'll be walking the journey together of all of the steps necessary on really how to become a self-sufficient healer. You'll know all of the tools of how to balance your body, how to tap into your body in less than a minute, how to test your adrenal glands, how to test what food sensitivities you might have, and then how to find out in less than a minute what emotion you're blocking, and also how to balance those emotions within yourself. And then, of course, progressing into the soul aspects of who you are, because the journey of uncovering and awakening who you are is truly about connecting all the dots that makes you, which is a whole and complete being. So therefore, moving forward, we'll be focusing more on all these different aspects of what makes you. So again, if you are just joining us, please let me know if the sound is working, and let's begin. So today I wanted to focus on 3 very, very important things, okay? So yes, today is a new moon. I want to focus on 3 top things that I feel are part of this 3 spring cleaning essentials. First is we're going to talk about the dangers of sugar, sweeping out sugar from your diet, banishing BPA, and removing toxic mold. Over the years of me working in the field of functional and energy medicine, I cannot stress enough of how just those 3 things have a major impact on your life. And therefore, I thought that since spring is coming, I wanted to talk about these 3 things, and also you'll have an assignment at the end that will support you in finding those things in your pantry, in your home, and hopefully taking small steps into becoming a healthier version of yourself. Okay, so perhaps in the last couple of days, weeks, you might be feeling, deep emotional things, and there's a reason behind it, and that has to do with moon retrograding, actually this entire month, March 5th through the 28th in Pisces. Pisces is a zodiac of deep emotions, intuition, empathy. So a lot of the things that we tend to suppress are actually brought to the surface. And again, Mercury retrograde is all about communication. So if there are areas in your life that you have been suppressing, now is actually an ideal time to tap in and just allow it to flow through you. Okay, so what does Pisces represent? Again, the symbol is fish, mystical, introspective, empathic. Okay, so some of the things that you can incorporate in your day-to-day life, especially in this particular time, is staying grounded. It's important that you go out for walks every day. Even if it's 10 minutes a day, that's enough. And I would say when you go for walks, make sure that you turn your cell phone off. You're not having any conversations that are coming in. I want you to tune into the sound of nature and connect to nature, connect to this planet. This is very, very important in order to have balance in your life, and also balance and clear your emotions. okay? Get in touch with yourself. So when you allow yourself the time, even if it's 10 minutes a day, to create silence, you're actually connecting to your deeper knowing and your deeper intuition. So yes, 10 minutes a day play a major role and an impact in your overall health and well-being. And then allow yourself to go into the depth of who you are. And again, I'll open up for more questions at the end. And then, of course, Pisces is all about, it's a mutable sign. That means it's all about trusting the flow of life. So when you give yourself a chance to truly connect to yourself, you're actually allowing the flow or the life to flow through you, right? And be expressed through you. Okay, we talked about today, new moon, energy builds starting today, and then full moon, it peaks on March 20th. So again, everything that you're sort of wanting and imagining to manifest in your life, this is a perfect opportunity and time to do so. Actually, every day is a perfect opportunity, but we just have kind of the nature supporting us on this journey at this time. Okay, so we're going to talk about 3 important things to remove from your daily life, hopefully forever, if it's possible, okay? And we're going to talk about creating a home environment that really supports your overall well-being. So let's talk a little bit about refined sugar. So sugar is everywhere, right? And it's in prepackaged foods, it's in our drinks, juices, right? A lot of times people will say to me, well, I'm drinking fresh orange juice. It's actually loaded with sugar. So one of the things that I want you to focus on is perhaps figuring out where do you have hidden sugars in your home. So refined sugar is linked to so many diseases, right? Damaging your health, causing mystery symptoms. So if you're suffering from any kind of chronic conditions or mystery symptoms, sugar definitely is on the top of that list to eliminate from your diet. Okay, it increases your risk of every disease you can imagine, including cancer. And studies have shown the diet high in added sugar, right? Or I would say it's not, we're talking about refined sugar, but it's much bigger than that, is linked to inflammation, liver disease. There's something now that's emerging, it's called fatty liver, and it's not just for those that drink alcohol. It's actually for people who are consuming a lot of sugar. Obesity, insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, increased gut permeability or leaky gut, which I talk about a lot in my book, candida overgrowth. I want to briefly talk about candida and leaky gut because it's such a huge topic and it absolutely needs to be talked about a lot more. So we all have candida in our gut. Just to make it clear. This is part of the ecosystem, a microbiome that exists within our gut. So we have the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. The point is that it's important to keep everything in balance, and you want to make sure that you have more of the good bugs in your gut. So when we tend to consume refined sugars or even fructose from fruits, a lot of fruit, bananas, grapes, all kinds of fruits. If you're consuming fruits on a daily basis and you're drinking juices and sodas and any kind of sweetened drinks on a daily basis, you're actually creating an imbalance in your gut microbiome. So what does it mean? It means that you're becoming more sensitive to your environment. You're going to react and become sensitive to foods you have never been sensitive to before. Or perhaps it will make you more irritable. So it's crucial to really reevaluate what kind of things you consume on a daily basis and perhaps go through your pantry to get rid of the products that contain all the refined sugars. And also, I want you to take a note on how many high fructose products you consume as well. So simply reducing sugar intake does wonders to your health. Now, awaken your awareness of sugar. Read food labels, clean out your cupboard, start your day with a healthy breakfast to reduce cravings, okay? So a lot of times people will ask me, well, what do you recommend I use because I do love sugar, right? Or I want something sweet. So there's definitely different products. Does it mean they all work great for everyone? Absolutely not, but I'm going to mention something for you. For example, chicory root extract is a great natural sweetener substitute that you can use. And for me, it works great. I've actually tested it on a lot of people, and it works great and wonders for a lot of people who would like to have something sweet, let's say in that cup of coffee or tea. Monk fruit extract is another great source. Now, I have tested it in a lot of people. For some people, it's great. For others, not so well. So I know for me, it actually does not work. It will create bloating and definitely leaky. It will contribute to leaky gut within my system. So again, we can talk about all these natural ingredients and substitutes. I want you to begin to have this new conversation with yourself. So let's say you were to try something new as a substitute. Give it 3 days and see how your body responds. Why is it 3 days? That means usually, when you eat a food, it can have a delayed response. Delayed response means a delayed sensitivity response. It means it can happen from 24 to 72 hours later. So let's say you eliminate sugar from your diet, but you wanted to try chicory root or monk fruit extract. I want you to try it, let's say in the morning, 1 day, and then give yourself 3 days off and see how your body feels. This is one of the best ways you can actually tune in and listen if this is the right product for you. And then there's something that's called sweet potato nectar that I recently discovered. It also works great for some people, but not for others. And so anyway, these are just 3 of my suggestions that I recommend. Okay, let's talk about this very important topic, and it has to do with BPA. Bisphenol A is another word for it. And, a few years ago, there has been a lot of new products that have been emerging on the market that were BPA free. Okay. So I want you to realize something. Actually, BPA is a chemical that structurally mimics estrogen. It actually looks like synthetic estrogen. And it creates estrogen dominance in the system. Okay. And how are we exposed to it on a daily basis, right? Plastic containers, plastic water bottles. Your personal care products are actually, most of them are packaged in plastic as well. Canned food. So something I didn't know 10 years ago, but now I've learned over the years that actually our canned food lining is lined with BPA. Children's toys, water bottles we talked about. So here's the thing. About 10 years ago, companies started making BPA-free products, and they actually contain BPS. So people think that it's a safe product to have. And actually, BPS is very similar to BPA. It also mimics estrogen. So I do not recommend BPA-free products, okay? Because it's still lined with a similar estrogen mimicker. Now, researchers have found that those with high levels of BPA in their system often have reproductive issues, such as, so if you're suffering from PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, infertility, it increases your chance actually of miscarriage, premature delivery. It decreases sperm count in males, and there's so many studies on PubMed. So if you're interested in looking deeper into this information, there is a lot of research on this. And it increases your risk of reproductive cancer. So I can't stress enough of how important it is to eliminate this particular ingredient or plastic from your overall daily life. BPA exposure has also been linked to breast cancer, early puberty in boys and girls, prostate issues, heart disease, diabetes, obesity, asthma, liver function, thyroid function, cognitive and behavioral problems. So as you can see, the list goes on and on. And of course, you guys know plastic is absolutely terrible for our planet, and only 9% of plastic actually gets recycled. So I want you to kind of sit with this information and think, how are you contributing to really harming not only your body, but also this planet? And what can you do to change that? Because the change in this planet begins with each and every one of us. So please be mindful of the plastics you use. Okay, it's piling up in landfills, it's littering our communities, it's disrupting natural habitats. And again, what can you do to reduce your exposure and reduce pollution? I've noticed in some restaurants now, they no longer have the plastic straws, which I think is wonderful. So if you can go through your pantry and also realize, if you're still using a microwave is another danger. We're not getting into the dangers of it today. But, if you're microwaving, of course, in plastic, this is a huge no, right? If you're putting water bottles in the freezer or in the refrigerator, okay, what happens is the plastic or the BPA actually leaches into your water. So you're consuming it that way as well. Okay, so we're going to eliminate BPA from your home. And how do we do that? Perhaps starting today, right? So it has a recycle number on it that's a 7. Also, BPS has a recycle number of 3. So I want you to remember those two numbers, 7 and 3. It is hard, it's clear, unbreakable, microwave safe, okay, labeled plastic, that means it has it, okay? If it's an aluminum or metal bottle, it can also, remember, it can be lined with plastic resin. If you bought it before 2012 and it doesn't have a recycling number on it, most likely you need to get rid of it. Now, reduce exposure and refuse to purchase plastic whenever you can. I know it's not always easy, but if it's possible, please be conscious and do it. And what can you substitute instead? Glass. I actually store things in glass containers in my refrigerator. You can use porcelain and stainless steel, okay, for containers, water bottles. I use glass. I think it's great. Now, removing toxic mold. I can't say enough about mold. I've been working with people for the last more than 20 years now, and this is probably one of the most difficult things to find out if really this is what you have. But let's kind of at least begin the conversation about it, okay? When toxic mold takes over, it turns into chronic illness. There's a lot of unexplained mystery symptoms people are suffering from. And I would say that mold or fungus is a huge contributing factor, okay? What are some of the symptoms of mold exposure? Headaches, chronic fatigue, fever, eye irritation, sneezing, rashes, irritation to the mucous membranes of mouth, nose, throat, chronic coughing. Brain fog is another one, severe fatigue, right? I want to actually talk about something that had happened to me in my 20s when I just moved to Florida from Connecticut, and we bought a house that was built in 1926. And for some odd reason, I developed this crazy asthma, and I couldn't breathe. I actually couldn't inhale or exhale. And that was the scariest thing, not to be able to not only inhale, but exhale. I remember going to the doctor, to a pulmonologist. I had to find one. I was brand new to Tampa, Florida. And this was about 20 years ago. And he said to me, we have to admit you to the hospital because your lungs are functioning at less than 25%. And I said, okay, but I didn't want to go to the hospital. I said, well, is there something else that I can do? And he said, okay, I'm going to give you a steroid shot, and then you'll be on 6 medications for the rest of your life. And I remember having that diagnosis, and I said to myself, this is not a prognosis that I'm going to live. This is not the life that I choose to have. So this began as a awakening journey for me into uncovering what was the contributing factors into my asthma that I developed and made me so sick. At that time, I also had eczema. My oldest son, who was a baby, also had severe eczema. So I began to research what are some of the things that were contributing to it. So there's so many things that can contribute to asthma, and we can have that conversation another time. But I did have to change my diet. And of course, I hired someone that did a test on my home, and we found mold in the house. And because the house was old, it had leaks prior to us acquiring the home. So if you're living in a home where there is a potential, right, for moisture buildup, or perhaps at some point of time you had some kind of water leak, please make sure you hire someone that you can trust that can come and inspect your home. Of course, if you're suffering from chronic illness or mystery symptoms, this is an absolute must for you in order to become healthy again. Okay, so where are some of the places that need to be checked for mold, right? Wherever the moisture accumulates, bathrooms, basements. So I know in Florida we don't have basements, but up north there's plenty of basements. Air conditioning systems around the doors and windows, okay? And then how to remove and prevent mold. Of course, you want to hire a professional, but in the meantime, you can use tea tree oil, of course, to clean. High quality air purifier and dehumidifier is important. And then fixing any pre-existing leaks in immediately dry, damp areas. So again, if you're suspecting you've been suffering from mystery illnesses, chronic conditions, this is an absolute must for you to really examine what's happening in your home. Okay, so I wanted to stop for a moment and take any questions that any of you might have. And then also, we'll open up the line for questions. Moving forward, the focus of those webinars are going to be on preventing chronic illness, awakening your potential and the healer that you have within you. And in the next couple of months, I'll be announcing it. I'll be also starting a podcast. I feel that this is an important way to not only hear me, but also bring incredible teachers from around the world and people that you might be interested in. I'd love to know who you guys would be interested in hearing from, what kind of topics interest you. And for those of you that are seeking more information, more knowledge, more inspiration, just know you can always connect to me on social media. The book is out on Amazon and also through my website. You're able to order hardcover. And then, of course, the 8-week online course is coming in by the end of March, beginning of April. So please make sure to add your name. And we're going to explore this amazing journey of healing yourself, awakening your healer together for 8 weeks. So please let me know if you have any questions. And yes. Okay, usually I do a guided meditation. I was just tuning in to see if there is anything, if perhaps I'll be channeling a meditation for you today. And let's do a brief one today. We're going to do one on cleansing any kind of emotional debris, any debris of uncertainty that perhaps you've been dealing with over the last couple of weeks and moving into this retrograde time. Let's focus on, let's get into the space and just clear it. We'll do a couple of minutes of it. We're not going to do a long one today. Okay? So I want you to close your eyes. And let's visualize connecting first to this beautiful planet Earth. Okay? So close your eyes. Imagine that you have roots growing from your feet and your tailbone into the center of this beautiful planet. So you want to make sure you're solid and anchored, supported. Wonderful. Now, visualize a beautiful ray of light, crystalline, white golden light, bathing you and showering you from above. As you inhale, exhale, and run this beautiful light through your entire body, your physical body, your auric field. You're going to cleanse with each inhale and exhale, your entire field being cleansed. Wonderful. Again, inhale, exhale, and cleanse your entire field. Let go of any stress, any uncertainty. Recognize that you're absolutely fully supported on this journey. You're connected to this planet. There is no reason to escape it at any point. You chose to incarnate here, so let's just embrace it all. Begin to melt into your body and feel oneness with your surroundings, wherever you are. And now visualize a beautiful light growing in the center of your chest area. This light is your innate, powerful ability to love, to feel compassion, to have this deeper knowing of everything that you're here to do and to experience beautiful life on this planet. Let's expand this light. With each inhale and exhale, visualize this light growing and expanding. And now let's all unite. So there's a group of us joining us today, right? So let's all unite and visualize our hands being stretched out and just holding each other and creating this beautiful space of love. And in the middle, there's a beautiful vortex of love. And we're all putting this love into the center of this connection between all of us. Beautiful. Now let's beam this light, this united light that we have, towards all the people that we know, that we love, and perhaps we don't know. Let's send this love to our cities, countries, and now to the entire planet. Expand with each breath that you take. Expand and beam the light to this entire planet. Beautiful. Now, as we're bathing in this beautiful love, I want you to imagine that you have this beautiful spiral that's coming down from above you. And we're going to clean our auric field using the spiral in counterclockwise direction. Move through your entire auric field, through your body, through your organ systems, and we're going to let go of everything that does not belong in your field. Anything that is not in resonance with love and light, you're going to release it and bring it out through your feet. So as the vortex is spiraling all around you and through you, you're going to release it down into the planet and let it all go. Tune into any tension in your body. Make sure you don't feel it. If you do, perhaps you need to increase the spin and let it all out. Make sure you breathe. You connect to your breath. Okay, let's do another spiral. Bring it down again. And down through your feet. You might feel some pressure in your feet. Just let it go. Open those chakras in your feet and start releasing the energy out. Beautiful. If you're feeling tension in your knees, it's time to let it go. It's time to move forward. Don't hold on to anything that is slowing you down. Excellent. Now, I want you to visualize a spiral moving from the center of the earth and bringing the fire element and run it up through your body, through your auric field and out into the space. You're going to release it and transmute the energy and trust that the universe has your back. So again, bring the energy, the spiral through your feet, through your entire body, through your auric field, and out, and let it go. And visualize it just going into the light. Everything that does not belong to you is leaving you now. You absolutely trust the flow of your body and know that you're fully supported by the planet, by the guides, by the love that is surrounding you, the love that you carry within you. One last time, you're going to bring the spiral through your knees, through your feet, your knees, through your body, your auric field, and out. And release. Wonderful. Now, Feel into your body. Perhaps there's a space that still needs a little more attention. Let it all go. You're absolutely fully connected to your body, to the present moment, and truly to the divine healer that you are. Each and every one of you is a healer. You have the ability to tap in, to understand what your body is here to tell you, and to release and clear anything that does not belong. You are the master of yourself. You know yourself best. Trust all the messages that are coming to you. And know that you can come back to this moment and do this exercise anytime you feel stuck or blocked or uncertain. So now you're in absolute resonance with love and light. And know that anytime you can choose to connect to this, you also say that only love and light is allowed to be in my field. Anything that is not that is going to be released. Wonderful. You can open your eyes. And perhaps you might want to share some of the things that you've experienced, how you feel. I know for me, I was feeling something in my right foot. I felt a little pressure there, so I was focusing on releasing that. Perhaps some of you felt some other things. If you want to share, that would be great. Okay, so we talked about my book that's out, the course that's coming soon. I cannot wait for all of you to be a part of it. Okay, and if you purchase the book right now, I'm giving away a free healing body meditation, which is part of the book. It's actually this particular meditation I've been using a lot through the years. And you can receive a free body meditation once you buy the book through our website. So I look forward to any of your questions, and thank you so much for being with us here today. And just remember, at the end, in the email, you're going to receive a little worksheet that we usually have, the monthly Miracle RX Essentials. So this will support you on this journey. And then if you don't mind taking a poll, that would also help us on what topics you want to hear from me about and how much you enjoyed it. Would you share it with your friends? So please take a moment and fill it out. And again, moving forward, the focus is going to be chronic illness and how I can support you on eliminating chronic illness, how we can awaken the knowing within and activate. Actually, I see somebody's asking about sacred spaces. That's a great topic to cover, yes, and it's also covered in my book, and we'll talk about it in my online course. So all those topics are wonderful. We're still keeping the poll open for another couple of minutes, so please share. And then again, if you want to have any questions, please let me know as well. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day and a wonderful month ahead.